हरि ओम दीर्घायुष्मान भव स्त्रीभ्यः दीर्घ सुमंगली भव कन्या स्त्रीभ्यः शीघ्रमेव विवाह प्राप्तिरस्तु सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु तदास्तु तदास्तु तदास्तु. So I am continuing my part 4, Bible versus Bhagavad Gita in English, especially in response to the two teachers who unfortunately preached against Bhagavad Gita, and it led to an alleged death of two young students in TamilNadu. And this is also addressed to certain pastors in TamilNadu, Tamil pastors, and also to certain Tamil politicians, certain party politicians. Therefore, now when you say Bible is again supreme than Bhagavad Gita, which is unwarranted thing, this provokes defenses from Hindu organizations. And that's why I am here to defend my faith, which is absolutely superior to any other faith as far as I am concerned. But it is in no way inferior to Bhagavad Gita, is nowhere inferior to Bible, and Bible is not superior to Bhagavad Gita at all. Because there are a lot of contradictory factors in Bible. Lots of contradictory factors. See, now you see, go to Genesis, chapter 1, verse 27. I have been discussing on this. Therefore, God created humankind. I am reading, if you want, from the book of Genesis. So, God created humankind in His image. In the image of God, He created them. Male and female, He created them. So, male and female He created in His image. Now, what is that image? We do not know, because it is God. So, but we know our image. Suppose I am a male, I know my image. We have males are certain have certain features, and females have certain features. So, God is in between those two features, or what it is. Now, God has created an image just like this. So, we also can be God if He has created an image. So God is different from human beings. So there is a gap between God and the humankind. There cannot be a gap. Absolutely, in high philosophy, there is no gap, because at the atomic level, at the quantum level, everybody is interconnected. All the minute atoms are interconnected. God cannot have space in between Him and the human beings. If there is a space, who defines the space? Because God Himself is all pervading, everywhere. He cannot be only in heaven. He is all pervading, He is omnipotent, all powerful, all bliss, all love. That's the definition of God we have to have. Now, if He created an image, something else different from Him, what is the gap in between that? And that image is of humankind. So we human beings are also God, just like what the Veda says, Atma lives in me. And then you say you can't, if your image is same as that of God, what is wrong in creating an image just like human beings and worshipping for concentration purpose? See, everything, if you go and argue with the Bible, it will find illogical. Now, again, if you come to the Genesis, chapter 2, verse 7, then God created the man, it says. Now, God has already created in 1:27, Genesis. So, coming to 2, God created the man from the dust. Okay. So, He has already created in chapter 1, but again He comes to chapter 2, and in verse 7, God created man from the dust of the earth. Now, there are two creations of man, we do not know. But, okay, then again in chapter 2, same chapter, verse number 22, God created women from the rib of the man. He made the man to sleep and created women from the rib. So, that defeats what He says in 1, where in 27, God created both male and female on the fifth day. I think it is on the fifth day. Then He created, that is all. Then He created, then He asked all the, next He created, and He asks all the fish in the oceans to multiply, the birds to multiply. These are all because He created beasts before He created man. So since He has created man in His image already, so what is wrong in a man creating that image as an idol and worshipping for concentration purpose? That's what is the question. See, whereas now come to Bhagavad Gita, the high philosophy. Go to chapter 2, verse number 13. It's a full of philosophical verses. What is life? It says very beautifully, Dehino asmin, yatha dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tatha dehantar praptihi dhiraha tatra na muhyati. What is the meaning is, Dehina means the soul. Dehina, yatha, what happens? Praptihi, when it comes to an end, it goes to another body. Tatha eva, asmin dehe, in this dehe, the yavvanam, the kaumara means baby, childhood. Kaumaram, the yavvanam, the youth, and the jara, old age, gets their prapti. That is, in the body, these three phases go to the praptihi, end. What? The childhood, the youth, and the old age. Just like what happens to the soul? The soul, at the end of the deha praptihi and end of the deha, it leaves the body and goes to another body. It's also going, that is the process. Just like childhood, youth, and jara, old age, in our life, in the dehe means in the deha, yatha, how, like that only happens for the body, the yavvanam, the old age, the youth and the old age. Just like yatha, that dehinaha goes to the praptihi. So the dhiraha, the wise men, na muhyati, they are not deluded. No. Muhyati, they are not submerged in that sorrow. Because there is nothing called sorrow, just the yavvanam or the kaumaram or the yavvanam and finally the jara, the body experiences and perishes. Then the soul, just like the soul, leaves from one body to the other. So the dhiraha knows that there is nothing big in the body, in the life. Nothing big, because it's going to age one day from the childhood, from the youth, from the to the old age. And it will go, and the body is perishing, and what happens? The soul goes from one body to other. The youth, from childhood, from baby childhood to youth, to like that, it passes on. The life in the body passes on inside the body. So that is the highest, one of the highest philosophies. Now, what happens to chapter 2 and verse number 20? Bhagavan says, all this Bhagavan says very beautifully, na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita cha va bhuyah ajah, if you break it, ajo nityam, permanent, shashwatam, again permanent, ayam, this, purano, it's very old, na hanyate hanyamane sharire, in the hanyamana sharira, in the destroying body, na hanyate, it does not get destroyed. What? The atma. Ayam means this. Ayam imau ime, imam imau iman, anena abhyam abhihi, asmai abhyam abhyah, asmat abhyam abhyah, like that it goes. For this, we have ayam, male form, iyam, feminine gender, iyam. We have also asau. Then we have the common thing, saha taute and all, eshaha, this. So we have very formats, Panini's format. So ayam, this refers to, because enam also is meant by this. Enam is a dvitiya vibhakti. You can say ayam imau ime, imam or enam. So this ayam, this atma, na jayate mriyate va kada. Kada means whenever. It refers to a time. Which time? Kadachit. It says kadachin. It is kadachit plus na ayam, because na starts there, it becomes kadachin. Na this. Bhutva, past tense. Bhavita, future tense. Vacha bhuya, further. existence, the present existence, and also the bhuyah. So it had not been born in the past, or will not be born in the future, or is not existing further, is not existing also further. This one, Nityam. I am Nityam. That is permanent. It is permanent. Shashwadam. Shashwadam means what? Eternal. It's also fixed. Never changes. Shashwadam. Then I am Purano. It's very, very old. And na hanyate hanyamane sharire. The destruction, the body being destroyed, this does not get destroyed. What is this? The soul. The body is getting destroyed. Yes, we know. See, that comes in verse number 20. In verse number 22, Bhagavan beautifully says this famous verse. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grihnati naraha aparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. Very nice verse. Vasamsi jirnani. Vasamsi means kapada. Jirnani, digested kapada. Yatha vihaya. Chod do. Navani grihnati. New. Garments. Grihnati accepts. Naraha, man. Aparani, another. That's all. Tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani. Digested body, jirnani. Sharira, jirnam. Sharirasya jirnam. Sharirani vihaya jirnani. It leaves the digested body, means the toned body, old body. Anyani, another. Samyati enters. Navani, new body. Dehi, the Atma. Exactly beautiful. This is verse number 2. Because in 23, next chapter 23, Bhagavan says, Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati papakaha, na chainam kletayanti apaha, na soshayati maruta. Bhagavan refers only to the Atma, the soul, not the creation. Man is getting born from the dust, and then the female is getting born from the rib of the man. All these are all okay. But this doesn't come under the highest philosophy like what Bhagavan says. Nainam chindanti, na yenam chindanti shastrani. Yenam means, I told you this, Dvitiya vibhakti of I am imau ime. Na yenam chindanti shastrani. Arrows cannot cut. Na nainam dahati pavakaha. The fire cannot burn it. Na cha yenam. Na chainam kledayanti apaha. The water cannot wet it. Na soshayati maruta. Maruta cannot, the wind cannot dry it. Because that is Atma. That is the state. That is permanent. Not what you and I talk that God is creating the beast. No, there is a state. I come to Mandukya Upanishad, lovely explanations are there about the life. What is meant by life? Who are you? Who am I? And then in 25, Bhagavan says, again very emphatically to Arjuna, Na avyaktaha ayam. That's what he says. Vyaktaha, avyaktaha, ayam, this. Avyaktaha, ayam. Achintyaha, ayam. Avikaryaha, ayam, uchyate, is being said. Tasmat, therefore, evam viditva, having known this, having established the rule. Viditva means having known. Viditva, having established, or having spread that, or having brought into enlightenment, knowledge to everybody. Evam viditva, yenam anusochitum arhasi. Na anusochitum arhasi. Yenam means this. This means refers to Atma. I told you. Yenam is a common word, means this. Dvitiya, second vibhakti. Anusochitum arhasi. Na anusochitum arhasi. Why do you grieve? There is no arhasi, only is addressing the second person, that is Arjuna. We have what is known as Uttama Purusha, Madhyama Purusha, and Prathama Purusha. So see, when ending comes, you can always conjecture. You can always understand that you are talking to a second person before you. Na so arhasi, don't deserve. You don't deserve to grieve. Why? Because this Atma is permanent. Na avyaktaha ayam. There is no vyaktam. There is no manifestation for this. Avyakta purusa sakshi kshetraknyochara evacha. We say no Vishnu Sahasranamam. So avyaktaha ayam achintyaha. You cannot think about it. There is no thought. There is no logic. There is achintanam. So achintyaha ayam, this is achintyaha. You cannot talk, you cannot think about it, you cannot grasp it, you will not have an understanding about it. Na? So achintyaha ayam, avikaryaha ayam, no form, no manifestation, no vikaram form for it. Avikaryaha ayam, is always opposite. Whenever you get it's what is known as hajadi pratyaya. We have ajadi pratyaya and haladi pratyaya. This is haladi pratyaya, where when you get the consonants kaka, chacha, tata, yara, lava and all, you put only a for opposite meaning, like dharma, adharma, karma, akarma. Whereas a, I, u, adi, an you put. That is called ajadi pratyaya. Anadi, an plus adi, anadi. U, uchitam, anuchitam, an plus uchitam. Like this we have Sanskrit grammar, pratyaya grammar. So that's what avyaktya. So it has no manifestation. Avikaram. Vikaram is even in, we normally know, vikara rupa and all. This is avikaryaha. Ayam, this. Tasmat, therefore. Evam viditva. Just like this, it has been established. After having established like this, Yenam this, Yenam means this. Evam viditva, only after having viditva established, Yenam this, no, anusochitum. Anu gives a sochitum arhasi. It's a greater emphasis on great test, we say. So anusochitum arhasi, don't have the arhada, like Arjuna. That's beautifully explained about all these creations, this body, the life, the man, the female, whatever it is they talk on Bible. And then on 27, Bhagavan says beautifully, verse number 27, chapter 2. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu, dhruvam janma mritasya cha, tasmat apari arye arte na tvam sochitum arhati. So Jatasya of the born, Jatasya hi dhruvo, certain, hi dhruvo, it is very certain indeed. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu, death. Dhruvam, certain, hi dhruvam janma mritasya, of the dead. Janma is certain. That's what, see, the birth and rebirth is certain. Therefore, this apari harye arthe, in the meaning of the inevitability, inevitable situations, unavoidable, anivarya, sandarbha, in unavoidable circumstances, inevitable circumstances, na tvam, you, soshitum. Soshitum means grieving. Arihasi, you don't deserve. What is point? 80 or 90 years of life, you know, you are going to be born again, you are going to be, unless you get the moksha prapti, birth and death is normal. Changing like changing your garments. See, these type of philosophy in which Abrahamic text you have, sir, that's what I am coming to. If you say I am making God made out of breathing the dust and then serpent is walking, serpent used to walk. And then it is cursed by, in Genesis, by the God that will eat only dust because it tempted Eve to eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge. See, God is so jealous that they didn't want to any human kind to eat. But He has created them in His own image. You see, if you take Bible versus Bhagavad Gita and come for an argument, it will not stand at all. Because the philosophy in Bible, if you decipher Sanskritam very correctly, the philosophy is of the highest order. It gives you the reasons why you are born, who am I, what is the reason, what is that birth and death, reincarnation. Ian Stevenson, Robert, all these big people are Moody and all, they have all gone into those effects. And matter cannot be created or destroyed. There is no hell or heaven, everything is within you. We are all part of the one Buddha said. See, if these Abrahamic texts only give you the CRPC, the Criminal Procedural Code and the Civil Procedure Code, do this, don't do this, you will be, they put an authority instead of a government and instead of a Supreme Court judge, they put an authority like God. There's nothing wrong, but nothing wrong. But if you start criticizing Bhagavad Gita or Hinduism, then when Hindus, educated Hindus, Pandits come to the defense, then you will find that you are trapped. Is it not? Because where these philosophies you can find, come on, tell me, please. I would like to go into that. Rishi Sunak followed Bhagavad Gita, and he has become the greatest. Ford's great grandson, Ford Jr. the second, I think, is an ardent devotee of ISKCON. Many such people I have come across throughout the world in Europe, where I was there recently. They have all very hard devotees. Some read Upanishads very well, understand very well, decipher very well. World Ananda Sangha by by Swami Kriyananda, very disciple of Yogananda Paramahamsa. You see those YouTubes, you see them, you read their books of the highest philosophy. Paul Brunton's book, A Search in Secret India. See, when you talk of philosophy and then you talk of, we know CPC and CRPC, which is already there. That's what it says in Bible. Some will be contradictory also in these Abrahamic texts, totally. But once you start criticizing Hinduism or Bhagavad Gita, and then the Pandits of Bhagavad Gita or Hindus arise and defend their faith, this will be shattered. Like one preacher says, why should idol worship? What is idol worship? You have created God in your own image. So idol worship is nothing but concentration. You have to have a pencil and a paper for you to read and write. Mathematics or English or literature. Pencil is an idol. Paper is an idol. Chalk piece is an idol, and the blackboard is an idol. With those idols only you can explain, not in the thin air with your hands. Hinduism has even Paramatma, formless, Arupi. And here in Bible it says he created his own image. God does not have image as per the Hinduism. Hinduism is the highest philosophy. Arupi Nirgunaha. They does not have a character like Buddha endorses. But here you say God created man in his own image, so you are able to define God with your image. You know now that God has the image of male or a female, like you. So you can define him with an image now. If a God is being capable of being defined, he no longer stands as a God, because he has to be all-powerful, incapable of being defined, especially on physical images. A God is not an image like a man. You cannot create. God does not create men like him. Well, if you think logically on these points and arguments, you will find that Bhagavad Gita is so superior that, my dear, two teachers and all those pastors and all those certain TamilNadu politicians, please understand, or come for a debate. Come for a debate, piece by piece we can argue, intellectual arguments. Therefore, with this, my dear, chapter 4 is over, and I shall continue till such time. Bhuyat, Tavat, Shubhamangalam, Hari Om, Hare Krishna.